The Galactic Council station floated like a shining crown in the middle of deep space. Thousands of lights blinked around its surface, and long metal arms stretched outward like giant wings. Inside the main chamber, more than 50 alien leaders sat around a huge circular table. Some had glowing eyes, some had scales, some had fur, and some looked like tall walking crystals. But today, not one of them looked calm. Every single face showed fear. A warning siren echoed through the hall. Panels flashed red. The air felt thicker, heavier, as if danger itself had entered the room. For the last 3 hours, every scanner and probe in the region had picked up the same thing. Something massive was moving toward Council space. Something silent. Something unknown. Something that did not match any ship record in the entire galaxy. The Council head, a tall creature with silver skin and 4 arms, struck the table. "Report again," he demanded. "What is this object?" A young officer stepped forward. Sweat ran down his neck, even though the room was cold. "Sir, the object is the size of a battle fortress. It is not sending any ID code. It is not answering messages. It is traveling with slow speed but with complete confidence. And..." He hesitated. "And what?" the Council head growled. "And every time our scanner hits it, the scanner loses power." A silence spread through the hall. Not soft silence. Dangerous silence. The kind that freezes the heart. Another officer added, "The blackout lasts only 0.7 seconds, but it affects every ship, every scanner, every station. No ship has ever caused this before." Now panic began to rise. Some delegates whispered. Others shouted. A few slammed their fists on the table. What species can do this? Is it a weapon? Is this an invasion? Who dares enter our space without permission? But no one had answers. Outside the station, fleets of Council ships formed defensive lines. Cruisers, escorts, carriers, thousands of them. Their engines glowed like small suns as they pointed their weapons at the unknown visitor. Minutes passed like hours. Then the object dropped out of warp. Every ship commander sent the same message, at the exact same time. "It's a warship." But it was not like any warship the galaxy had seen. Its hull was black, so black that light seemed to bend around it. Its edges were sharp and silent, like a shadow cut out from the universe. And its armor swallowed scanner beams whole, like a deep ocean swallowing stones. There were no lights on it at first. No windows. No symbols. It looked ancient and new at the same time. Council ships tried to scan it again. And again their scanners died for 0.7 seconds. In the main chamber, fear turned into shock. "This ship can disable our sensors without firing," one leader whispered. "What else can it do?" another asked. Then the warship slowed, stopped, and turned its massive front side toward the Council station. A single line of blue light appeared on its hull. Slowly, deliberately, like an eye-opening. More lights followed, forming letters in a language many delegates did not know. But some species recognized it instantly. Humans. The words became clear. United Human Defense Force. The entire chamber froze. Humans? The young race? The species with small colonies and simple technology? The species the Council never took seriously? How did humans build this?" one delegate whispered. "They were not supposed to have ships like this," another said, trembling. The truth hit them all. Humans had been hiding something. Something powerful. Something they had built in secret. Before anyone could speak, the warship sent a transmission. A calm, deep voice filled the chamber. "To the Galactic Council. We know what you did." Gasps echoed through the room. Some leaders turned pale. Others looked at each other with guilt in their eyes. Because they had done something. Something they thought humans would never discover. The human voice continued. "You interfered with our explorers. You blocked our expansion. You tried to keep us small and weak. But we are not small. And we are not weak." The warship powered up its engines just slightly, and the entire station trembled. Not a violent shake, just enough to show its strength. The human voice finished. "We do not come for war. We come for truth. And you will listen." The transmission ended. Inside the chamber, chaos exploded. Some leaders demanded the ship be destroyed. Others shouted that attacking it would mean the end of the council. Some were terrified. Some were angry. Nobody knew what this human warship was truly capable of. One thing was clear. A secret warship, hidden from the galaxy for years, had finally appeared. And the arrival of this silent giant had just changed the future of every species in the council. Because humans did not come with fear. They came with power. They came with purpose. And they came knowing the truth the council had buried long ago. The hook had begun. And the galaxy would never be the same again. The council chamber did not calm down for a long time. Voices crashed against each other. Some shouted in fear. Some whispered in confusion. Some tried to hide the panic that was rising inside them. But one truth was clear in the minds of every alien leader. The humans knew. They knew everything. The council head slammed his 4 hands on the table to stop the chaos. Everyone be silent. We must understand how this happened. But even he sounded shaken. A large creature with red scales and long horns stood first. He represented a warrior race known for strength, not fear. But today, fear lived in his voice. That human warship, it is too strong. Our fleet scanned it for weakness and found nothing. No energy leaks. No heat spots. No weapon ports. It hides everything. This is not possible for a young race. Another delegate, a crystal-like being with a voice like breaking glass, added, "Humans were not supposed to reach this level. We controlled their growth. We slowed their progress. We stopped their explorers. So how did they build this monster?" A deep silence followed. Because that was the secret the humans were talking about. They had been blocked. Years ago, when humans first started exploring deep space, they advanced too fast. Faster than any species before them. While other species took hundreds of years to reach warp travel, humans did it in decades. When others studied new energy sources slowly, humans experimented fearlessly. The council saw humans not as allies, but as a problem. A fast-growing species. A species that did not obey old rules. A species too creative, too unpredictable, too dangerous to be left free. So, in secret meetings, the council made a plan. They would limit human growth without letting humans know. They sent false signals to human probes. They disabled human research ships. They sent pirates to attack human supply convoys. They locked trade routes, blocked scientific data, and spread lies about human colonies. And humans believed it was all natural failures. Just bad luck. Just accidents. But now, humans knew the truth. In a dark corner of the chamber, a small alien with gray fur spoke quietly. If they know, then they know everything. Every action, every lie, every attack. They must be angry. The council head answered slowly. If they were angry, they would not send only one ship. They would send a fleet. This thought calmed many, but others still trembled. A sharp metallic voice echoed from the wall speakers. It was the communication officer. "Sirs, the human warship is requesting permission to speak with the council head." The hall went silent. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. The council head looked at the table. "What do they want?" The officer answered, "They want a meeting. Not with the whole council. Only with you, sir." Every delegate reacted at once. "Danger! It is a trap. They will kill you. Do not agree." But the council head raised a hand. "If humans wanted to kill me, they would simply fire. They have no need for tricks." He stood slowly, his silver skin reflecting the blue lights around him. Every step he took toward the meeting chamber felt heavy. The doors slid open with a hiss. A long, oval room waited for him. Empty, quiet. A hologram flickered to life in the center. It was the human captain. He looked simple. Short hair, calm eyes, a dark uniform with silver lines. No armor. No weapons. No threats. But behind his eyes, there was something cold. Something sharp. A truth that had been waiting to be spoken. The captain bowed his head lightly. "Council head," he said, "thank you for accepting this call." The council head straightened himself. "I want answers. What is this ship? How did you discover our past actions? The human captain did not smile. He did not blink. He simply said, "Because you made a mistake." A pulse of fear ran through the council head. The captain continued, "For years, you tried to stop us. You cut our supply lines. You blocked our explorers. You interfered with our research. You believed we never noticed." He leaned forward slightly. "You were wrong." The hologram changed. It now showed hundreds of images. Destroyed human probes, damaged ships, falsified reports, pirate attacks, sabotaged missions. Each one carried hidden council signatures the humans had traced. "You thought we were blind," the captain said calmly. "But humans see everything. We just pretend we don't. Until the right moment." The council head felt heat rising under his skin. "What do you want?" he asked. The captain answered, "Truth, respect, and cooperation." This confused the council head. "You want peace? After what we did?" The human captain nodded. "We came because something is coming toward your borders. Something your council already knows about. Something you tried to hide even from your own people. It is strong, hungry, moving fast." The hologram zoomed out, showing a dark shape entering council space. A creature. Massive. Devouring everything in its path. The captain's voice lowered. "Your council kept it quiet. But we found it." He looked at the council head directly. "This thing will not stop. It will reach your world soon. After that, it will reach ours." The final words hit like thunder. "You tried to slow humanity. But now we might be the only ones who can save you." The communication ended. The council head stood alone in the room, trembling, because the secret the humans revealed was far bigger than anything the council expected. And Part 2 had only opened the door. The council chamber was silent after the human captain's message. Not the usual silence of tired leaders. This was a heavy silence, the kind that makes the air feel thick and hard to breathe. Everyone understood one thing now. Humans had built something impossible. Something far beyond their expected level. Something the galaxy had never seen. The council head returned to the main table. His steps were slow, like every step carried a new weight. All eyes turned to him. He raised one of his 4 hands and spoke. "We must understand how humans created this warship. No species grows this fast. No species builds something this powerful in secret." A long, thin alien with glowing yellow eyes leaned forward. "Maybe they stole our technology," he suggested. But many shook their heads. "No," said a tall reptilian leader. "The ship is nothing like ours. Its armor does not reflect, it absorbs. Its engines do not burn, they bend space. It is something completely new." The council head nodded. "We need a full analysis. Bring all data to the center table." The holoscreens lit up, showing detailed images of the warship. Rotating views, scans, energy readings, shadows of internal systems. The first expert spoke, his voice trembling. "This ship hides its core structure. Every time we scan it, the signal vanishes. The hull drinks energy like water. We cannot even read the metal type." Another expert added, "Its mass is unnatural. It is heavier than our dreadnoughts but moves faster than our interceptors. This should not be possible." The table filled with murmurs, fear, confusion, disbelief. A short, round alien with blue skin tapped the screen. "Look here," he said, zooming in. "This area looks like a reactor chamber." The image showed a large sphere deep inside the ship, surrounded by rings of dark metal. "We believe this is the heart of the ship," he continued. "And it is not using normal fuel. It is bending space around itself. This is not technology we understand." The council head stared at the rotating sphere. Humans, bending space? Impossible. But the evidence was right in front of them. Another officer stepped forward. "There is more. We detected a secondary chamber behind the main reactor." "What is inside?" the council head asked. The officer swallowed. "We do not know. Every time we scan that area, the result comes back blank. No data. Nothing. It is like the ship refuses to show us." The hall grew colder. And then the most frightening detail appeared. A weapon signature. A long black shape, hidden under the front armor. Invisible to normal scanners, but faintly detectable through energy residue. When the image appeared, the chamber erupted. What is that? A cannon? A beam weapon? No. Something larger. That thing is as long as our cruiser. The room fell quiet again as the prediction came through. The weapon was powerful, dangerous, possibly unstable. A weapon meant to be used only once, or only in the most desperate moment. The council head rubbed his forehead. So the humans built a super weapon in secret. Why? Were they planning to attack us? A voice answered from the corner. No. Everyone turned to look at the speaker. A tall, calm alien with red eyes. The red-eyed delegate stood and pointed to the projection of the dark creature shown earlier. They built it for that, he said. For the thing moving toward the council worlds. The World Eater. The council head stared at the creature again. A swirling mass of darkness with glowing veins running across its body. A living storm. A devourer. A nightmare that moved through space like a shadow. The human captain had said it clearly. This thing will not stop. Now it made sense. Humans were preparing for a threat bigger than any war. Something ancient. Something deadly. Something the council tried to hide. Because they feared panic. The council head finally understood. Humans had not grown fast because of ambition. They had grown fast because they were scared. Scared of this creature. Scared of being unprepared. Scared of being left alone. He turned to the others. Humans built this warship because they saw what is coming long before we did. They were not trying to be powerful. They were trying to survive. A murmur of agreement passed through the delegates. But the fear remained strong. Because if the creature was strong enough to force humans to build something like this ship, then what hope did the rest of the galaxy have? The communication officer spoke again, voice shaking. Sirs, the human warship is scanning the creature's last known location. The council head felt a chill crawl up his spine. And what do the scans show? He asked. The officer looked at the screen with wide, frightened eyes. It has changed direction. The chamber fell dead silent. The officer continued, barely able to speak. It is coming here. The warship outside the station remained motionless, dark, silent, watching the council. And now the truth was clear. The humans did not build a weapon to threaten the council. They built a weapon to fight something the council could not face. And that something was now arriving. The council station vibrated with tension. Every leader felt the same cold fear rising inside them. The World Eater was coming, slowly, steadily, like a storm that no one could stop. And outside their windows, the massive human warship remained still, silent, black, calm, like a beast waiting for its moment. The council head stood near the viewing platform, watching the human ship through thick glass. This vessel, he whispered to himself, is the only thing that does not fear the creature. Suddenly, the communication officer rushed in. Sir, the human captain is requesting to come on board. In person. The chamber exploded with arguments. No, it is a trap. He will kill us. They want to control us. What if he brings weapons? But one voice cut through the noise. It was the old crystal leader, always calm, always logical. If humans wanted to destroy us, he said softly, we would already be dust. The room fell quiet. The council head nodded slowly. Allow the captain to board. A long silence followed. Everyone understood the risk. Everyone understood the danger. But they had no choice. A docking bridge extended toward the human warship. The air filled with metallic clicks as the two giant structures connected. Dozens of soldiers from many species lined the corridor, weapons ready. Their hands shook, even though they tried to hide it. When the door finally opened, no one breathed. A single human walked out. No guards. No drones. No armor. Just one man in a simple dark uniform. His steps were slow but confident. His face calm but focused. He looked around the corridor, studying every detail. Every soldier felt as if the human captain could see straight through them. The council head stepped forward. "I welcome you, Captain." The human nodded once. "Thank you. We have much to discuss." The two leaders entered a private chamber. It was round, with a long window showing the silent human warship outside. The captain stood with his hands behind his back. "Council head," he said, "you already know why we came." The council head replied carefully, "You said a creature is coming. Something that destroys everything. But we need details." The captain turned toward the window. "It has no name," he said. "No mind we understand. No fear. No weakness we know." He paused. "We call it the Devourer." The word echoed through the room like a cold wind. The council head swallowed hard. "What does it want?" The captain turned back, eyes dark. "It wants life. All life. It eats planets, stations, ships, anything with energy. We first detected it years ago. At the time, we had no way to stop it." The council head stared in disbelief. "So you built that warship?" "Yes," the captain said. "Humans started building it the day we discovered the Devourer. We knew it would reach us one day. We built in secret because we knew the council would not help." The council head lowered his eyes. "You think we would ignore such danger?" "You already did," the captain answered quietly. The words struck like a blade. The human captain stepped closer. "You hid information from us. You blocked our explorers. You made us look weak. You feared us. So you kept us out of everything." A heavy silence filled the room. But then the captain added, "Despite all of that, we are here to help." The council head looked up, shocked. "Why?" "Because when the Devourer reaches this station," the captain said softly, "it will not stop. After you fall, it will come for us. And after us, the rest of the galaxy." He stepped forward, placing a small device on the table. A hologram appeared. The Devourer. Closer. Bigger. Worse than before. Its surface twisted like living smoke. Its core burned like a dying star. Every movement looked unnatural, like space itself was breaking. "It is feeding again," the captain said. "It swallowed an entire mining moon last week." The council head's eyes widened. "You still believe we can stop it?" The captain nodded once. "Yes. But not alone." His voice grew colder. "And not without the truth." The council head felt his chest tighten. He knew what the human wanted. "You want us to admit what we did." The captain did not smile. "I want honesty. I want cooperation. You cannot fight the Devourer while hiding lies." The council head lowered his head. For years, the council had controlled humans from the shadows. But now humans stood stronger than ever. And the galaxy needed them. He finally spoke. "We made mistakes. Many. We feared what humans could become." He looked at the captain. "But we also feared something else. The Devourer. We hid its existence because we thought it would cause chaos." The captain's expression did not change. "You hid a monster from the one species building a weapon to stop it." The council head closed his eyes. "You are right." The captain stepped back. "So now we must choose. Do we fight together, or die alone?" The council head looked up slowly. "What does humanity ask for in return?" The captain answered with calm strength. "Nothing from the past. Only respect for the future." The room fell silent. Outside the window, the massive human warship glowed faintly, as if it knew its captain's words. And far away, in the darkness of space, the Devourer continued to come closer. The council station felt different now. The fear was still there. But something new had arrived with it. A decision. A dangerous one. A necessary one. Humans and the council were finally going to work together. But no one, not even the bravest commander, understood what the coming hours would bring. A deep alarm echoed across the entire station. The lights dimmed. The walls shook. Emergency shields hummed with power. The station's main screen flickered on. The Devourer had entered long-range sensors. Every leader stared at the dark shape through the hologram. It was bigger now. Much bigger. A black storm twisting slowly in the void. A living shadow that moved like a hungry ocean. A burning heart of red veins spreading across its body. The council head whispered, It grows each time it feeds. The human captain stood calmly beside him. Yes, he said softly. That is why we must act before it becomes unstoppable. Inside the massive strategic hall, both sides gathered. Council generals, fleet commanders, scientists, and the human captain. A large hologram showed the Devourer, the council station, and the human warship. We attack first, the captain said. The room gasped. No one attacks that thing. Our weapons did nothing to it. Ships disappear inside that monster. Are you insane? The captain didn't raise his voice. We hit it before it reaches us. We hit it before it grows bigger. My ship will lead the attack. Your fleets will provide support. The reptilian general slammed his fist. You think your single ship can stand against that creature? The captain looked directly at him. My ship was built for this. Yours were not. You provide distance fire. We take the first strike. The hall grew quiet. Because deep down, everyone knew he was right. The Devourer had destroyed everything the council sent at it. Battleships, dreadnoughts, defense platforms, entire stations. Nothing scratched it. Nothing slowed it. But the human warship, the ship that absorbed scans, the ship that hid its weapons, the ship that broke every known rule of physics. Maybe that ship had a chance. The council fleets gathered outside the station. Lines of cruisers, columns of destroyers, wings of fighters, old battle carriers and heavy frigates. Their engines lit up space like a field of stars. And in the center of them all, the human warship moved. Slow, silent, deadly. It felt like a shadow cutting through the darkness. Inside the council station, the officers watched the ship's path. It is heading directly at the creature, one officer said with shaking hands. Why so fast? Another asked. The captain answered through the comm line. Because it is already watching us. The room froze. The Devourer shifted its shape slightly, like it sensed the fleets, like it smelled their fear. The creature opened, not like a mouth, more like space itself tearing. A scream of raw energy burst from it, but no sound reached the ears. Only the screens showed its violent reaction. The captain's voice echoed through every ship. Hold positions. Do not fire. Let it reveal itself. The creature's dark tendrils stretched toward the fleets. Thousands of thin, shadow-like arms reaching, feeling, testing space. They brushed against the edges of the council fleets. Ships flickered. Sensors died. Engines shut down for 3 seconds. Panic spread across the comm channels. It touched us. We lost shields. It is draining us. Back away. Retreat. But the human captain spoke sharply. Stay together. Do not break formation. The Devourer turned toward the human warship. Slowly, as if recognizing something familiar. The captain's voice lowered. It knows us. The council head watched with dread. Why does it know you? The captain replied, because we fought it before. Everyone froze. No one had heard this part of the story. When? The council head whispered. 5 years ago, the captain said quietly. We sent a prototype ship. Smaller. Weaker. The Devourer destroyed it. But the data we recovered gave us what we needed to build this warship. The Devourer now headed straight toward them. The captain's voice tightened. All ships, prepare for battle. The human warship stopped. The creature charged. A dark wave moved like a tsunami in space, ripping through stars, bending light, tearing gravity. And then, the human warship lit up. Its hidden weapon opened like a glowing eye. A deep, glowing sphere formed in front of its hull. Light twisted around it. Space bent inward. Energy roared silently. The human captain gave the order. Fire! A beam shot out. Not bright, not loud, but unbelievably dense. It cut through the void like a blade. It hit the Devourer dead center. The creature shrieked. Not in sound, but in space, in light, in gravity. The council station shook. Ships trembled. Screens flickered. The devourer recoiled, twisting violently. The first strike had landed, and for the first time in years, the devourer took damage. Outside the window, the devourer writhed in pain. But it was not defeated. Not even close. It was angry. Terribly angry. And now, it was coming for them. The obsidian spear fell silent as its engines powered down. The ship had no activation codes, no broadcast signals, and no welcoming lights. It simply drifted like a dead beast in the void. But everyone watching it, every ship in the council, felt as if something inside was awake. Admiral Saren stood on the bridge of the council flagship, staring at the dark human warship. He had seen many battles in his lifetime, but this ship made his hands tremble. "It looks empty," one officer whispered. "No," Saren replied quietly. "It looks asleep." The boarding team approached using a small shuttle. Each step closer felt heavier. The ship's hull was covered in strange lines, scars, almost like it had fought countless wars and survived all of them. When they landed on its outer platform, the air felt thick. The door opened with a slow metal groan, as if the ship was deciding whether to let them in. Inside, the warship was cold and silent. Faint lights flickered along the walls. The team walked through long corridors, each one filled with old marks from battles long forgotten. It felt less like a ship and more like a graveyard. Then they reached the central chamber. A round table stood in the middle, surrounded by floating screens. Each screen displayed battles, human battles, fought outside the galaxy. Soldiers in old armor. Unknown enemies. Explosions in dark space. None of these battles were recorded in the council archives. "Why don't we know about any of this?" an officer asked, voice shaking. "Because humans never told them." The chamber suddenly lit up as a hologram blinked alive. It was an old man, human, tall, calm, with eyes filled with memories of endless wars. His voice echoed through the ship. "If you are seeing this message," he began, "it means the outer barrier has broken. It means the enemy will come again." The boarding team froze. The hologram continued. "For years, we humans fought alone in the dark edges of space. The council believed peace existed. It did not. We kept the real threat away from the galaxy, no matter the cost." Shock spread through the team. All this time, humans had been fighting a secret war? The hologram shifted to images of strange creatures, void-like beings made of shadow and fire. Their ships looked alive, like predators hunting. "These beings do not want territory," the hologram said. "They want to consume. They want silence. They want everything gone." The warship suddenly hummed, lights glowing brighter. The floor vibrated under the team's boots. The ship was waking. Admiral Saren watched from his command screen as power surged through the warship. "What is it doing?" someone asked. The hologram answered, as if it heard them. "This ship carries the final defense code. When the enemy returns, the galaxy will need unity. Humans never asked for help. But now, you must stand with us." The chamber fell silent again. No one moved. The boarding team realized the truth. Humans were never weak. Humans were the shield that protected the galaxy. And that shield had finally lowered. Outside, every council ship received the same message across the network. "Prepare. They are coming." The entire council froze in fear. The threat was real. The warship was a warning. And the enemy was closer than anyone thought. The message from the human warship spread across the entire council fleet like a cold wind. Every commander, every officer, every soldier felt the same fear. Something far worse than humans was coming. Admiral Saren stood on the bridge, his eyes locked on the dark shape of the obsidian spear. "This ship is not a warning," he said quietly. "It is the last line of defense." A deep vibration rolled through space. At first, it felt like a distant echo. Then it grew stronger and stronger, until every ship's sensors exploded with alarms. "Contact! Unknown energy signature appearing behind the red nebula." The voice of a frightened officer cut through the silence. The nebula began to twist. The red dust inside it swirled like a storm. A crack appeared in space itself, like someone was tearing open the fabric of reality. Everyone on every ship held their breath. And then, the enemy stepped through. A massive shadow emerged first. Not a ship. Not anything built by hands. It looked alive, its hull shifting like muscle and bone. Glowing lines pulsed across its body like veins. Dozens of smaller creatures followed, moving like a swarm. The council fleet froze. What are those?" an officer whispered. No one answered. The shadow creatures spread out slowly, as if tasting the stars around them. Their presence made the very light around them dim. Even the galaxy seemed to pull away from their arrival. Inside the obsidian spear, the hologram activated again. The old human commander's voice echoed through every council ship. "The enemy has crossed the barrier. They have found you. Do not run. Do not break. Stand together, or fall alone." The human warship suddenly unlocked its systems. Guns powered up. Shields lit with red light. The engines roared back to life. Saren watched in awe. "The ship is responding to them," he whispered. "It remembers the war." The massive shadow creature turned its head, if it even had one, toward the human warship. It let out a deep, impossible sound that shook every ship nearby. A roar of hunger. The obsidian spear answered with a pulse of blue energy, like a heartbeat returning after long silence. The council fleet prepared weapons. Battle stations lit up. Every species, once divided, now looked at the same enemy. The sky filled with tension so thick it felt like the galaxy itself was holding its breath. The admiral gave the quiet order. "All ships, prepare for the first strike." The shadow creatures opened their jaws, revealing burning cores inside. The human ship aimed its cannons. The council fleet locked on targets. And then, the stars went silent. The battle for the galaxy was about to begin.